This video is brought to you by AmerUSA.com, where you can screen tenants 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In this episode, we will be discussing Tennessee landlord tenant laws. The following is a summary of landlord tenant laws in the state of Tennessee as they apply to residential rental property. Topics include disclosures, withholding rent, the right to enter, security deposits, eviction, increasing rent, and more. Required disclosures. Contact information. The landlord must disclose to the tenant in writing at or before the commencement of the tenancy the name and address of the agent authorized to manage the premises and the owner of the premises or authorized agent for the purpose of receiving service of process, notices, and demands. Showing the property. A landlord may enter to show the premises to prospective renters during the final 30 days of a tenancy with 24 hours notice, but only if this right of access is set forth in the lease agreement. Security deposit limit. There is no legislated limit for security deposits in Tennessee. However, the security deposit must be kept in a separate account and the location must be disclosed to the tenant. Counties that have a population of less than 75,000, according to the federal census, are exempt from this requirement. Deadline for returning a security deposit. The security deposit must be returned within 30 days after the tenant vacates. It's important to note that the landlord must provide advance notice before taking any deductions for damage or missing items. Late fees. A late fee cannot be charged until the rent is 5 days past due. If the 5th day falls on a Sunday or observed holiday and the rent is paid on the next business day, a late fee cannot be charged. The maximum amount charged cannot exceed 10% of the past due rent. Increasing rent. On a month-to-month lease, a landlord should give tenants a 30-day written notice to raise rent or change any other term. Lease agreements of a longer duration cannot be increased unless both parties agree. Withholding rent. If a landlord fails to provide essential services, a tenant may provide the landlord notice of the breach and either procure reasonable amounts of the essential services and deduct their actual costs from the rent, or recover damages based on the diminution of the fair market rental value and reasonable attorney fees. Terminating tenancy and eviction. A 14-day unconditional notice to quit may be used on any tenant repeating an act which violates the lease or affects health or safety twice within 6 months. Notice must have been given for the first violation, though. A 14-day conditional notice to cure may be used for any other lease violations, allowing for an additional 16 days to quit if the problem is not resolved. The right to enter. Although Tennessee doesn't address a particular amount of time until the final 30 days of the lease term, which allows the landlord to give a 24-hour notice to show the property, a landlord should provide the tenant a reasonable notice of entry before being permitted inside the unit. For more information, additional laws and articles can be found at AmericanLandlord.com.